Do you want a mic or no? All right. So this is my buddy Aaron's Beetle. It's lifted. It's got diesel. It's TDI. Bought it a few years back. Kind of hopped up. Bigger nozzle injectors, 11 millimeter pump. Normal stuff. If you're into Volkswagens and diesels, you kind of understand all that stuff. It's got how many miles on it now? 250,000 miles on this, and we haven't done a timing belt since he's owned it, which is like 3 years. About 3 years. Because it was done just before he bought it. And we had paperwork to prove that it was done just before he bought it. So we weren't too worried about it. He's only put maybe 30,000 miles on it, 20,000 miles on it. But time-wise, it's probably just time we do it. He bought a full kit from EPC Euro, belt, tensioners, water pump, metal impeller, all kinds of stuff. So we're going to get started on this and see how long this takes me. Actually, we just got to pull, I think, the two hoses, and then I have to pull.
You don't need the intake tube out of the way?
Maybe. I mean, it wouldn't hurt, but. Top right-hand side or top left? Here or there? There should be some stubbies there.
I just need a socket.
There's not a whole lot of oil on that, man. I'm actually kind of surprised. Yeah, you put that catch can on there. I think it's helping a lot. I don't think you had that much to begin with. I don't think you've had, like, dude, the thing holds like 2 quarts. The hose alone holds a quart. That's an RTV gasket. So, sorry, the reason that's funny is he ordered a valve cover gasket. He has one at home. He thought he had one here. We do a lot of his maintenance and stuff here. So he has a lot of parts up in my loft for this, his Dodge truck, miscellaneous stuff. Well, he ordered a valve cover gasket because it's been leaking for a while, and it's leaking down the backside of the motor, causing like backside of the motor's wet, oil drip, stuff like that. It has a skid plate, so it doesn't leak oil too horrible. But he was like, oh, we're going to be in here. We're doing a cam shop while we're at it. These are not notorious, the PB motors, DP motors, sorry. PD. Pulse, dual pulse, or I don't know. PD motors have an extra lobe on the cam for all the injectors, and the injectors are actually driven off the cam. Those are the BRM motors, and BRM, was it BRM and what's the other one? The PD motors. It's the BRM and I had it in my other car, in the automatic. So there's a BRM and another BEW. BEW motors, those have cam issue ones. The ALHs, which is what this is, which is mechanical injection, did not have those issues. So they still wear cams out, but they wear cams out due to mileage, not because it eats the camshaft like the other ones do. It doesn't just eat them up. Those just eat them up. And I've done 2 or 3 of those cams. I've never done one of these, so we were looking for the valve cover gasket, and he's like, "Oh, I think it's at home." And we were looking online, and everybody says to use RTV, and this one is RTV'd. It does not have a gasket on it, which explains why it's leaking out the back. That's what I was just explaining to the camera. So if you come in and look on the front, look through your cam gears, you can see it all over. It's like spooging out.
Gasket there though.
I don't know. There's RTV in there.
Yeah, there's a gasket. And RTV.
And RTV. And I'm looking down the side, and the side all looks like RTV. There may be a gasket in there also, but that's RTV. So
maybe we get that gasket and use right stuff this time. Why?
You do not want to put right stuff on a valve cover.
Why? We'll seal it.
100%. And if you would like to do that, that is fine.
But it'll never.
But if it ever comes off, you are the one that has to take it off, and you're the one that has to clean it. Yeah. That's done. We got to get the serpentine belt off. We can plug up the coolant. Dude, when I do the thermostats, dude, I flush the blocks. I pour water through them and flush out all the coolant, and I go back green. I don't run any of the special coolant. You don't need it in Arizona. As long as you're using distilled water, the entire reason they're doing it is to stop the blocks from rusting. I have 2 gallons sitting over there.
I'll replace it.
But that's why I do it that way, is because green coolant's way easier to find if you're on a road trip.
Yeah.
And I need coolant right now because it spit out or you lost a hose. And mixing shit like that with non-shit like that can, like, I don't know if you remember, so there was a big thing back in the 90s, Dexcool. You couldn't mix anything with Dexcool. It would turn to like jelly.
Yeah.
Clogs up your heater core, your radiator. Like, ever since then, dude, anytime I dump something, if I take the thermostat out where I can flush the block, it goes back green coolant. I don't even put other coolant back in it because the price that it costs me to buy crap like that compared to green coolant, more than likely I'm going to have it apart again.
Yeah.
With the crap that I own. I mean, how many times we had the coolant system open on this?
2.
So this is the 3rd time?
I think this is the 2nd time.
Maybe the 2nd time.
We did a radiator. Oh no, we had to take the radiator out, and
we did fans, and we had to do the AC condenser.
AC condenser, yeah.
So that's twice we've dropped it.
So the 3rd time,
yeah. So this is the 3rd time where how much you probably spent on coolant, because I think every time those jugs are like $25, and we buy 1 gallon, so there's $50 in coolant plus now whatever you've bought for this kit. Like,
it came with the kit though.
But if it's mixed correctly, you shouldn't have a problem with them. I think that's a 15 millimeter. Ooh, I'm going to be able to get. I don't think I'm going to be able to get the head of the ratchet up in there. We're going to have to use a wrench. They're tight, man. They Oh, I don't know if I've shown you this.
Nice.
They like make them where they're like an adjustable bar or whatever.
That's kind of cool. You can latch onto it.
Oh, it may not be big enough. I may not be able to do it in there.
another wrench off the back of it.
That's what I'll do. No, it's fine.
Barely. It's barely touching it.
Hey, do you know how to solve that problem? Oh yeah, it just barely touches right there. You know how to solve that problem? Run like 1.25" spacers. You hate that I constantly talk. Ooh, 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 no. Yeah, there we go. Ha. My belt looks good. Keep it as a spare. Put the new one on. $19, $18, $17, $16.
Yeah, all the writing stuff. Yeah. I don't think it's a Continental.
No, it's not.
Like
It's a Connie Tech.
oh, really?
Yep. 6PK 1660. You and Jason are usually the ones that help me clean, and I've been doing it by myself the past couple times.
I tried the last 2 times I came over.
I know.
I'm like, let's clean. You're like,
I
no,
was.
I'm done. I'm like, let's clean.
Nope.
Nope, I'm going inside. No, let's clean.
Yeah, but you also gotta realize, like, well, no, I know.
I'm just saying, I'm down to.
I know, but it's like you want to do it at the end of the day when it's like I've been out here working since 6.
I got here last time and said let's clean.
Oh,
you're like,
that may
no,
have been.
I need to work on this.
Yeah.
And then at the end, you're like, okay, are you going home? I'm like, yeah, unless we're cleaning. Nope. So that's when you were working on that pop out.
Yeah. Did I have it in the shop?
You had the pop out right here.
Okay, I did. You got a little bit on the bottom.
Is there a bunch in the intercooler?
I don't know.
Yeah, we saw this last time.
Yeah, that's not nearly as bad as it was, though.
Probably sucked it up and burned it.
I mean, yeah, there's some in there. It's puddling on the bottom.
Is this all trash? Can I use these?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to try. This is a good rag.
No, it's not. Because once they've hit the ground, I know, but I can't on the yellow ones because then I end up trying to use them on paint. So I'm very particular about the yellow ones. Like, if there's a whole bunch of crud in them and stuff like that, I just you're gonna love me. So everybody, I do have a parts washer also. It's just a little Harbor Freight special, but I cleaned it. It's got fresh fluid in it, everything. I cleaned it last night. Like, legit fresh fluid.
Yeah. On the forums, people drill a little tiny hole at the bottom right here. Like a little tiny one.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
And then
like, if we're gonna do anything like that, what I would do is I would buy a hand, like a air bleed.
Oh, yeah.
And I would, drill it and tap it and put one in the bottom, and then you can open it up so it drains out. But the problem is those always stick up so high, like it's not going to get a whole bunch of oil out.
Yeah, no, it would have to be.
But I also think there's not nearly as much oil as there was in there before, so I think you're.
Yeah, but it can't be catching much because the drain port's right here, and look how much is in it.
I know, but
put the ball valve on it.
When was the last time we pulled this off? 2 years ago?
Yeah.
It's not going to catch it if it's already in here.
Yeah.
Because it already went through the intake.
No, I know. What we
I think what it's doing is stopping from what had been going through.
Yeah, I don't know.
So I would be surprised in like a year to pull this off again and see it. And I think in a year when we go to pull it off is when we're just going to end up building a front mount intercooler for it because we're both tired of it. Dude, you see that Baja one I sent you? They have that thing titled as a 67 with a new body on a Razor. You didn't read the ad? Dude, it's titled as a 67 air cooled on a newer body. It's this body. I don't know. But I'm just like, whatever.
I was talking about the one I said they just cut one like mine.
Oh, I just sent you one like last night. Oh, dude. Yeah, that thing is freaking crazy. I started researching on how to make those better. That parts washer.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you add a filter and then like filter setup, and then you go to Tractor Supply. There's this stuff called PSC 1000, which is a solvent, and it's like $55 for a 5-gallon jug. So you buy 2 of those. So it's like $110 to fill it, but it's like you're just using oil filters to filter out all the impurities. So it's like when you go to change. Yeah, it's like, no, you use the pump that's in there. You can use that pump, but yeah, it's you mount it outside. You just drill a couple holes in the top.
So when you're not using it, you can turn the pump on for an hour or whatever and flush it through.
Yeah, you can filter the entire setup, and then
I bet your solvent lasts forever.
That's where I was kind of at. It's like that's probably the 4th or 5th time I've had to clean that, and the last time I went to go clean it was when we were doing all your LS stuff.
Yeah.
And we kind of quit working on that stuff. So it was like, I let it set. Dude, that thing dried up. I had to pull it out and blow it out with the pressure washer last night.
Oh, it was all dried up?
Yeah, it dried up all the way. It took all of it out. And I leave the lid closed. So, like, it happens over time. So what I was looking at doing was drilling those holes in it, putting in an oil filter adapter, and then buying, like, a gasket for here to seal it up, and then put a latch on the outside so we can actually close it down. And heard you're in trouble.
Oh, he's not in trouble. Man, my Chromebook got broken half over Mom's knee.
Oh, the Chromebook got smashed last night. Mom pulled a dad action.
What are you doing? You being an alcoholic or what?
Why'd it get smashed?
What? Am I supposed to be on it? You weren't supposed to be on it? Yeah, but it was at like 2 o'clock. You didn't listen? I mean, 10 o'clock is technically my bedtime. Yeah.
But what time does all your internet and everything shut off?
Technically 10 o'clock.
No.
8 o'clock on the weekdays, 10 o'clock on the weekends.
9 o'clock on the weekends.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
They never lock at 9 o'clock on the weekends.
Okay, I can change that.
You have to stay in here. Yeah. Stay in the shop? Yeah. It's punishment. Pretty cool punishment.
I mean, I can make it crappier for you if you'd like.
Not when he makes me clean all day.
Like, me of all people spent an entire weekend cleaning and rearranging his shop. Actually, it got vacuumed.
Yeah, it got vacuumed, but it didn't get mopped.
No, it did not get mopped. Oh, that's something Seth can do. That was a good call.
What the heck?
I get that urge a lot.
He probably gets it like 50 times a day.
So for the people that can't see, my youngest son is sitting back here. He's in trouble, so he has to sit out in the shop because he can't be trusted in the house by himself because he gets on his electronics and stays up late at night. And it was mom caught you at like 10:30, which was past the time you were supposed to be
The
in.
exact time was 10:16, so I don't know what you're on.
Mom told me 10:30.
It's 10:16. I
Oh.
woke up from my car.
Oh, okay. So what time does your internet lock, as you were saying? Oh, okay. So how were you on the internet when it's locked
We don't talk about that.
at 10 o'clock? No, let's talk about that. How were you on the internet if it was locked at 10 o'clock last night?
Downloaded a VPN or something?
No,
No, it was somebody else's.
he was on an open Wi-Fi network just around.
A lower what?
I have to get so. Actually, we'll explain this. So you have to pull the front engine mount to get the timing belt off, and to do all this, you have to take off the pulley, and then there is multiple bolts way down here that you have to get out. So to get those out, I take them out now. That way, when I lower it down, and I put a jack underneath here, when I pull the mount in the front brace, that it's all out of the way. And we didn't put you didn't buy new gear, right? I didn't think so. No, you usually don't. You know, it's that weird Volkswagen stuff where they tell you to like replace bolts. I know. Never replace those bolts. I just did Brian's car. I did Brian's car. And I didn't tell Brian that. I waited till the entire thing was put back together. And I'm like, oh, by the way, like they say that you're supposed to, these are torque to yield and that you should replace them. And he was like, wait, what? And I'm like, yeah, we didn't bring one of them, did we? And we torqued every one of them. So my problem with the torque to yield that Volkswagen does, they give you a torque spec. You just torque it to the spec. It's not like a torque to yield head bolt where you torque the spec and then you have to like turn it another 90 degrees or 60 degrees or anything like that. It's literally, it's just a torque spec. That's why I look at it and I'm like, how is it a torque to yield when you're not putting it past the torque that they give you? So either it yielded to the point of you torque it down over the torque spec of what the bolt actually requires. So let's go with, say the bolt's 60 pounds. So what's the actual torque spec on the bolt is 50, and then you're over torquing it by 10 so that it stretches. Well, if I turn around and I put it back in and I can still torque it to 60, the bolt never yielded. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I don't see how that there's supposed to be a torque to yield setup when they don't. It's not like you turn it after you've gotten it to a torque spec. Yeah. So I just don't take that coolant and take it out there. No, him. He's in trouble. He's the one that can do all the minion stuff. Most of the time, what happens is when my friends come over, they do the minion stuff, and I just keep working. How many people do you know that have Volkswagen tools? That's why you come to Bill's house. No, because I think I'm going to have to do it from the bottom, and I don't want to. I was trying not to because I'm lazy. I want to get the creeper out. You want to have to slide underneath here.
Can't take the mount out?
I was trying to do it without taking the mount out, but I gotta pull them out. It makes it way easier, and I can jack the motor up and get to everything easier. I may have. It was like a piece of cloth, but it was like the cloth was starting to deteriorate. So, gray Scotch Brite. I cut it down to the same size. Worked good.
Yeah, Dorman one for minus $21.
Yeah. I just order a new one, dude. Order one up, and even if we got to pull it, like no more coolant than that is in that thing, like we can just swap it. I can't. You know what's bad? I read more of that file folder that he gave us than you did. I wanted to know what I was getting myself into, and how much maintenance we were gonna have to do. But how much is a whole valve cover? I mean, no offense, if it's $200, I don't want to put a valve cover on it if it don't need it. Like if it ain't cracked or something's wrong with it, and we got a gasket at your house with a gasket, wasn't the gasket like 45? Ain't bad, but I mean, if we take this off and it ain't cracked and there ain't no problem with it, I just say we put the valve cover gasket on it. Be done. Yeah. That was the wicks from O'Reilly's. It was like $14.99 or whatever.
Right, but I can get it for 10 here tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
And then you don't have to order in the next 6 hours.
Oh, yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, the Dorman coolant reservoir and oil filter will be here between 6 and 11 a.m. tomorrow. The other stuff will be here sometime tomorrow. The fuel filter and valve cover gasket, those go on
Yeah. I got your mount in your bracket assembly for the mount. Yeah, I'm going to throw these in there too. Let them soak for a little while. There's gloves. So you can get that crap all over your hands. Larges are right there. Extra larges are over here. What time is it?
10:30.
Time you want to eat? Okay. Then I'm going to stop what I'm doing over here.